Hey, hi everyone. So today we are connected with, we have started this series and we are going to be talking with some of the fellows who were part of Tezos India Fellowship 2021. And we are going to be talking about how their experience was like and, what did they build, what are their future plans and what are they doing right now, specifically in regarding Tezos or what are they building on top of Tezos or how they are connected in the Tezos ecosystem. And this is also for for our upcoming hackathons that we organize and our upcoming fellowship that we are going to organize Theos India Fellowship 2, so that the future participants, future candidates, or anybody who is just genuinely curious can get an idea about the hackathons and the fellowship and the kind of programs that we do, the developer activities that we organize through Theos India, and what to expect from it. So that's about it. I'm Om, President of Tezos India, and today we have GD Soumya with us, who was part of Tezos India Fellowship 2021, and he's going to share some of his experience. So, Soumya, how are you?
Yeah.
Just
Hi, Om.
how are you doing?
Hi, Denver. I'm pretty good. Hopefully, you're
Okay,
also good.
yeah. So let's start with a brief introduction. Just go ahead and could you just give us a brief introduction yourself?
Sure, absolutely. I'm Shomo. I am currently a final year student, BTech student from Kolkata. And I was part of the Tezos India Fellowship, last Tezos India Fellowship, as Om mentioned. And yeah,
Mhm. Yeah,
and I've been working
cool.
on.
All right. So during the fellowship, can you just start not from our side, but I would like to, hear from your side. What do you think of fellowship? What is Theos India Fellowship? You can just briefly explain.
Sure. So when I first applied for Tezos in the fellowship, so I had no idea about Tezos that much. I had just looked up Tezos. I was interested in blockchain, so I've been working on blockchain for a few years now. But I received a subscription email from Defolio about Tezos in the fellowship last year, and I was intrigued by it. So I looked up Tezos, and it was a pretty interesting idea, and I found that the ecosystem was still new, and there was a lot of you know uh, possibility of growth there. So
Good.
I joined the Tezos India fellowship there, and from there on, it has been like a complete different journey altogether. So I got to learn a lot of things from all the developers and the community members at Tezos India. So the ecosystem is absolutely brilliant.
All right. Okay. So let's get to all the parts that you mentioned by one by one, and so that you can more specifically mention your experience. Why don't you go ahead and tell us the project that you built first? Just tell us what kind of project you built in the fellowship. How did you get the idea? Just as brief as you can tell us, and then without giving any other future plans and anything like that, because we will get to it by the end of this interview. But
Sure.
just give us a brief about what kind of project did you build in the fellowship.
So during the fellowship, I was working on decentralized exchange. So the idea of the exchange was to exchange the Ethereum tokens, like not tokens at that time, it was just pure Ethereum uh, base currency, the Ethereum and the Tezos base currency test, right? So the idea was to exchange these decentralized in a decentralized manner through a process called atomic swap. So that was the basic idea of the project that I did during the fellowship.
Good. All right. And how much prior experience did you have in Web3, as we say it, the
Mhm.
blockchain world, or the, let's say, all the different languages of the platform, or what did you know before building this project?
So before I started working, like joined the Tezos India Fellowship, I had about a year or two experience, almost 2 years experience with blockchain. So I've been working on Ethereum at that time before the Tezos Fellowship. Uh, so I worked with Solidity and mostly Solidity, writing contracts on Ethereum. Yeah.
Good. So you did have some sort of experience before deciding to building on top of Tezos.
Yeah.
Just curious, was it your first time building on Tezos?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the first time I worked on Tezos. So
All
the
right.
fellowship was the first time. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you overcome the learning curve? So I know the basic nature of blockchain is similar. So if you have worked on any kind of blockchain, be it Ethereum or anything else, it is fairly easy to and maybe it sometimes it also might be easier than working on other blockchains when it comes to Tezos. But I'm curious, how did you overcome the learning curve? What did what are some of the difficulties that you find? Just brief about that.
Yeah. So like when I first started up with Tezos, like just at the beginning of the fellowship, it was like there was a lot of things, new things to learn. Obviously, a different smart contract language and those things. So that was like it took some time to get used to that. But there was a pretty good amount of documentation available, and obviously then we had mentors, and the community was there to help us. So you ask a question and you'll get a reply pretty quick, and you resolve your queries. So that was how I overcame the learning curve. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Uh, and so let's say if a new student or it's a new developer who wants to get into the Theos ecosystem or who wants to start any of the project or start development on top of Tezos, what would you say to him? How can he start? What's the first step that he should take, or how can he can get involved into the ecosystem or the community like you did in the project you built?
So the first step would be to start learning any of the smart contract languages, right? And the next step is to ask questions, like as much as you can. Every time you face an
Yes.
issue, just ask questions. You'll probably find that there are groups, Telegram groups, Slack channels. Like there's a lot of support there for developers. So if you ask a question, you'll absolutely get an answer. Like, so ask questions and keep learning. That's the way to go.
Yeah, that's right. That's the right way to go about. Uh, so in the general, what would you say? How did Theos in India Fellowship benefit you? What apart from the, let's say, the mentorship you got, or the monetary part of it, that you have to get selected and you get a certain sort of stipend. Apart from that, what are the other ways it did help you? If you could tell about that.
So, so Tezos India Fellowship was like a entry point for me into the world of Tezos. So since then I've been working with like after the fellowship, like during the fellowship, I made a lot of connections with the ecosystem, like the community and developers here. And since then, I've been working with other good developers, pretty good developers in the ecosystem, right? Some cryptonomic people, I've been working with them, and the Tezos India Foundation, I've been working with them. So it's been a pretty great journey till now, and it's been learning. Like I've been learning, and I'm still learning right now. So yeah, like it's a pretty awesome journey.
That's great. That's great to hear, man. So if you could tell, are you working on any other Tezos side project, or any other community centric project that you
Uh,
have contributed to?
so right now, I am working on a version of my the fellowship project that I did, like a new version, kind of with Cryptonomic right now. So it's also based on it's basically a decentralized exchange, but instead of just Ethereum and Tezos, like the base currency, we are exchanging ERC20 and FF1.2, which is the equivalent of ERC20 and Tezos. Right? So that is what I'm doing right now. Besides that, I'm also working on another NFT project. Yeah, it's a like a marketplace. So that is something that is ongoing right now.
That's good. That's great to hear. That's very cool, Soumya. I think you're even after fellowship, you are still connected with the ecosystem and you are building continuously on top of this. That's a very cool thing to see, and that's exactly what we want out of this program, right? Uh, so just in a brief, just tell me, how did it start for you? Let's say fellowship ended. We were there, obviously, Theos India and all of your mentors, they were there. But then how did you start your journey after the fellowship? and you kept going into the Theos ecosystem. You kept building on top of it. How was it like?
So for me, it was more of a pretty streamlined, I would say. Like after the fellowship, I got some, I got some opportunities like from Cryptonomic to continue the work that I was doing. So it was like I was called like we started off with the project, like kind of revamped the thing that I did. It was the one that I did was a POC kind of thing mostly, So they wanted to revamp it and make a real product out of it. So that is how I started working with them. And after that, I like while working, also I was working with Tezos India Foundation. After that, on some other projects, and then I got contacted for the NFT marketplace thing. So it was like more like the contributions you dare do for the community, it gets noticed, right? And that is
Hmm.
how you'll get
Right.
opportunities from them directly.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, for a general student developer like you, what would you recommend? A fellowship or an internship if somebody is interested in the blockchain sector, or for for any tech space for that matter?
So I think both can be good if like an internship can be equally good. I think if it's properly mentored and done. But sometimes internship can be more, focused on results rather than learning. So in case you're getting started with something like, I started with Tezos as a complete, amateur, right? I did not know anything about Tezos, right? So at that time, internship might not be the best because you need to have some knowledge about the subject, the technology that you're working on to deliver something, right? At the end of the day, you have to deliver some part of the project, right? So a fellowship in that sense is more of a learning opportunity. It was a like for 3 months you, or even depending on the duration of the fellowship, you'll first of all learn about the technology. So you'll get help from mentors, and like it's a completely learning experience mostly, and then
Hmm.
you start working on it. That's like a that's the I think the differentiating factor from a normal internship and a fellowship. So if you're going to learn
Yeah.
something new, then I think probably a fellowship would be a better choice.
Yeah, I think that you made some really good points, and that's exactly what the difference is. And that's what also we try to format our program according to according to that, so that the candidates, the participants, those who are selected, they get to learn a lot. They get to uh, you know they get to work a lot. They have to work really hard, and they have to make a real life working project out of this fellowship, and that then later on can contribute to their their further endeavors in the Tezos ecosystem or in their general life. That's right. Um, so I think we are just, at the end of our interview. Would you want to give any tips for the people who are interested in building on Tezos?
So my tip would be to read documentation as much as you can. So whatever language you choose, read about it. First of all, read about Tezos itself, like how it functions, like the different aspects of Tezos. That is also very important. And after that, the documentation of whichever smart contract languages you're using, the libraries, client libraries, and lastly, ask questions. That is the most important, I think.
That's
Just
right.
join communities and ask questions.
Yeah, that's right. That's what even I tell everyone. Just ask as much as you can, because this is a community which is very helpful. Everybody is almost 24/7 available. You would always find someone in your time zone, or wherever you are. You can be in Asia, you can be in Europe, you can be in Africa, in America, wherever you are. You would at least find a lot of some people in your time zone who are awake, who are ready to help you instantly within just a couple of minutes. And it's a very helping community, and it's a thriving community as well. Even in India, we are seeing a lot of good projects coming out. A lot of developers who are learning to build on top of Tezos, and that's very exciting. So before we end this interview, Soumya, I think we have, you told us some good points. You told us about your experience. I think overall we were also very lucky to have candidates like you, and this is really great when we see that a fellowship but our fellows or Theos India fellows are, even after the fellowship, are pursuing what they learned during the fellowship, and they are constantly contributing to this Theos ecosystem. But yeah, so before we end the interview, just tell us some great hack ideas which you think that you want to build, but maybe you don't have time, or which you think these ideas are really cool, and you want to give it to community that hey, you can try this out, and because we keep organizing student-run hackathons, we keep supporting student-run hackathons in multiple universities, multiple colleges, and it would be great if those people or those who are willing to participate in this can already have some ideas. Anything on top of your mind, please feel free to share.
So I think currently NFTs are a good, like a good sector right now. So something around NFTs, innovative, something like I can't exactly put a finger on top of it. Like I can't think of it right now, but I think NFTs is a good start. Like you can do something on NFTs. Uh, and secondly, right now with the update, like the Florence update, uh, protocol update, I think we have more opportunity of DeFi. Like right now, we can before this update there was we used to do breadth first search like from technical point of view. So there are some things that were not possible in Tezos, but now it has those features. So you can work on DeFi applications also. So these are the two things that are pretty, in high demand right now, and I think that will help the community also to get more traction from other users, like to get more adoption basically. So yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I really appreciate Soumya your time and your insights about fellowship. We appreciate you sharing your experience about the entire program and how you are involved in the community, what you look forward to, and what you are contributing to. Uh, it's great to have you in Theos India community, in Theos ecosystem as well. And we really wish you all the best for your future. You keep contributing more and more to this ecosystem, and you keep, building more and keep growing more. That's it. Thanks for your time, Soumya.
Thank you
We'll
for
include
having
this
me. Thank
interview
you.
now. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye.